Welcome to The Last 50 Feet, the podcast about what happens when autonomous vehicles actually arrive at the curb. Every week, we get into what is moving in autonomous commerce, what's stalling, and who's building what next. No fluff, all signal, and we keep it brief. That's our thing. Let's get into it. Well, hello. We're coming live today.
Hello.
Look at our new setup. Is this our new podcast studio? No, it is not. It is the back of a Tesla at ICSC with some amazing new things that we're going to talk about. But first, I want to kick it off by saying we have a guest on our pod, and it's Brittain. So I'm going to pass it over to you and tell everybody who you are, Brittain.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brittain Ladd. My background is very heavy in supply chain, logistics, artificial intelligence. I write a lot of articles on this topic. I'm a former Amazon executive. I'm a former consultant for multiple grocery retailers and retailers in general. And it's a pleasure to be on the show.
We're excited to have you, Brittain. It's been a long time coming, hasn't it?
Yes. You know, it's interesting. I believe this is a correct statement. I believe I was the first person who wrote about Autolane on LinkedIn. And I found Autolane clear back in, I believe it was June or July of 2025. And I remember reading about the company, reading about the website, reading about Ben and Cam and so forth. And I remember thinking that this is the company that absolutely is going to transform logistics and retail. And the reason why I felt that way is 10 months ago, almost a year ago, I'd written an article about Tesla and how Tesla absolutely was going to be the most disruptive company in food delivery, restaurant delivery, deliveries of pharmaceutical products and so forth. And in this post I wrote on LinkedIn, I made this statement. I challenged Tesla to partner with a manufacturer to create a locker system that they could install inside Tesla vehicles. Or I said a third party could partner with a company and they could create a locker system and sell it to Tesla owners, or partner with Tesla and basically Tesla and this company could partner. And here it is nearly a year later, and the team from Autolane did it. And in my opinion, this is truly one of the biggest moments in retail that's ever occurred. And so I really want to state how proud I am of the team from Autolane and how transformational this is really going to be. I'm writing an article about this. I can't wait. I'm going to share my opinion on this topic, but truly, this is a monumental moment. This truly is something that is going to change the game.
Thanks, Brittain. I mean, ta-da! Here it is. It's been cool to follow all your thoughts over the last year. When I remember reading your post that mentioned us, I was kind of taken aback because you and I had never spoken before. Pretty much no one knew of us at that point. Last summer, seems like years ago, but really less than 10 months ago, or less than 12 months ago, you wrote about us. And I found it super prescient, of course, that you were already talking about the things that were on our whiteboards. Little did you know that we were kind of on track and had been thinking about these things as well. And here we are, fast forward to today. So it's full circle, cool moment to have you on the pod and to be able to debut the locker system that I think you envisioned, and so did we back in the day. This is the first time I've seen it actually in the flesh. We're debuting it here at the ICSC PropTech conference, which is the International Shopping Center.
International Council of Shopping Centers.
Thank you. The largest, basically the largest real estate conference in the world when it comes to retail real estate. So all the major players are here. I think the CBREs, the Cushman Wakefields, the Hines, the GGP, you name it, Macerich, Simon, all of them. So this is kind of the place where the real estate industry gets together to talk about where retail is headed and doing deals. And so, of course, with our focus on retail REITs over the last year or so, this is a great place for us to be, and a fantastic place for us to debut the locker system on the showroom floor. So That's
and
what we're
if
doing.
you can't tell so far, they're still setting up in here. So this room is maybe 25% set up, and it's about 4 football fields of incompleted booths. So we're here doing our best. If there's any audio issues in the background, y'all.
I wanted to
Yeah,
say that actually a perfect timing happened after Brittain announced the lockers, like a giant boom blast happened. And I wanted to take credit for that as the producer of the show, that I made some magical sound, but it was definitely at the show. So great. And I just want to add too, Ben, you're being humble. Don't forget that you're speaking tomorrow too with
that's right.
if you want to say something.
Yeah. I've got a pretty exciting opportunity with a couple of our partners, Jamestown and Federal as well. On stage, we'll be talking about how self-driving vehicles are impacting retail real estate properties. So a couple of our partners will be on stage with me. Recently, we've installed our technology with Jamestown in Atlanta, which we've talked about on the pod. So I'll be with Jay from Jamestown on stage to kind of talk through that installation and deployment. And then Amy from Federal Realty as well, one of the top retail REITs in the world. So I'll have the chance to sit on stage and kind of answer questions and go through how Autolane views the retail real estate world's involvement in the rollout of self-driving cars. I think it's a really important intersection when it comes to this technology and real estate. So should be a lively discussion. And I think it's a perfect place for us to launch this new product. So without further ado, let's do it. All right. So what you're looking at here, this is the back of a brand new Tesla. This is our V0 prototype, the first working version of this Autolane Smart Locker, which has been an idea in our heads for over a year now, but something, that took us quite a while to get designed correctly and kind of have the right product vision. So we've partnered with a small manufacturer out of the Bay Area to come up with this V0. And let me show you how it works. So we have, as you can see, 6 different compartments. This is a custom design that we came up with initially, but we will be able to configure these compartment sizes per retailer, per use case. Of course, if you can imagine this being for grocery, you might want larger compartments and maybe only 2. Maybe you don't want a compartment at all if you're a large item retailer like a Home Depot or an IKEA. But this initial V0 was really designed for a QSR use case. So I'm going to go ahead and pop one of the doors. Boom. There you go. So as you can see, this is all Bluetooth connected and remote controlled. So in the Autolane app or in a retailer app, when we integrate with them, the customer will be able to open the trunk when the autonomous vehicle arrives. They'll also then be able to open their particular smart locker compartment. So imagine essentially a Amazon smart locker at the grocery store that you're asked to open slot 1 or slot 2 to get your order out. This is the same type of technology, but custom designed to be installed inside of a 2026 Tesla. So there's one of them. We've also got drink holders kind of installed there, which I'll show you in the other one. And then as an example, we can pop this one. And there's another example. We got a drink holder right there. So you can imagine, let's say a Chick-fil-A bag of food plus a drink here in this order or in this holder. And you've got your specific order right there. Now, of course, why did we come up with this? Why did Brittain write about this? Why is this anything worth unveiling in the way that we're doing it? Well, ultimately, if you can pair a batched autonomous locker with an autonomous vehicle, all of a sudden you can do multiple orders on one run. So imagine this car picking up 6 different orders from Sephora, let's say, at one store, and then going out and delivering all 6 orders to Sephora customers. You will be able to dramatically reduce the cost per delivery to Sephora, which ultimately means much, much cheaper delivery price for the Sephora customer. So we really think that ultimately we can get the price of delivery down to near zero over the years to come as autonomy begins to scale, as more and more manufacturers start making these cars. And then you have inventions like this all of a sudden, you should be able to get sub 20-minute delivery from a major retailer for very little money, if not free. I think it's a really exciting development, but of course, none of that is possible without some type of batched hardware, some locker system inside the car that enables the autonomous car to do more than one order at a time. So here's to the future.
Brittain, what do you think?
Well, the reason why I'm such a fan of this, and the reason why I wrote about this, before I really knew much about Autolane, is that the biggest thing that many people overlook when it comes to autonomous vehicles is really cargo management. And so there was all these discussions taking place about, well, there'll be an autonomous vehicle. It'll go pick up something from a restaurant and it'll go deliver it. And then it'll pick up something from a grocery store and it will deliver it. But what was missing from all those discussions is what I refer to as a mechanism for commerce. No one was going to want to have a Tesla, a Waymo, or some other vehicle pull into their driveway, and in the back was a bunch of groceries and a bunch of food from a McDonald's or Chick-fil-A or whatever scattered all around the back of the vehicle. And so what was missing was something to really manage these transactions, have a clear chain of custody, be able to show the customer that these products had integrity and food safety. And really, this little locker system that you're showing us now is what was needed. But it's actually bigger than that. See, everyone's talking about autonomy, and that's absolutely happening, and it's going to happen faster than people realize. But when we take a look at Tesla, there are thousands, actually there's several million Teslas on the road today. And the reason why I'm a fan of this locker system is you now have given every Tesla owner this immediate commerce. Basically, they can install one of these locker systems in their car. Their car doesn't have to be full self-driving today. They can register their car on one of your partners' platforms. I'm going to write about that. And basically, they now can have their car active with this locker system. And so for the person who owns a Tesla can say, you know what, this weekend, I'm actually going to start making deliveries in my car because I have a mechanism that's going to allow me to do that. And this is transformational because what Tesla can do is work with Autolane, work with some of your partners, and they can go to all kinds of retailers and pharmacies, and using a geofence, they can say, let's start immediately testing autonomous vehicles because we have a mechanism that's going to allow us to have integrity for all these deliveries. They'll be safe, they'll be secure. That locker system's secure, so you can be delivering pharmaceuticals in it. And everything that I'm talking about now gives millions of people an opportunity to conduct commerce that didn't exist before. And
Correct.
Now let's talk about the cyber cab. This, to me, is absolutely what Elon Musk should be foaming at the mouth about, because the cyber cab is a vehicle with no steering wheel and it's designed for passengers only. Installing this locker system in each cyber cab significantly increases the monetization capability of
Correct.
each cab. And who can make it a reality but Autolane? So I can't stress enough how this is going to have an incredible impact on Tesla, but also it's going to have an incredible impact on all these other companies out there that deliver food and groceries and pharmacy, and they don't have this system. You have it. So this, to me, is what's so exciting. I really have been waiting for this moment a long time. And again, I know I've said congratulations and I'm proud of you, but I can't stress enough that I think you gentlemen have really come up with something significant.
Thanks, Brittain. I mean, yeah, you hit the nail on the head as far as talking about the other model types that we will be building this for. So I think I made a quick comment about the size of these compartments and why they are the way they are as a V0 prototype. This is really kind of our vision of what a fast food or a quick serve restaurant size might look like. But what is fascinating to me about this idea is that you start to think about, well, what if you could mix, what if an autonomous vehicle could pick up 2 McDonald's orders, 2 Sephora orders, and 2 FedEx packages and take them to all different types of customers and interact with 3 different types of businesses on one route. So tell the car, go to FedEx, pick up a package for Cam, pick up a package for Ben, then go to McDonald's, pick up an order for Brittain, then go to Sephora, pick up something for Kyle, and then drop them all off. That would be impossible to do for a couple of reasons without a locker system like this. One, you would be mixing and matching, as you noted, different types of orders, which would get chaotic and messy. But two, how would the customer who receives the autonomous vehicle order comes out to the parking lot, opens the trunk, and then they got to sort through, is this my Sephora order or Kyle's Sephora order? I don't know. I got to look at it. Then there's also 2 McDonald's orders here, and one drink is spilled on the Sephora order. Plus there's 2 like valuable FedEx packages. One was being returned and one needs to be dropped off. How do I make sure that someone's not going to take that package? Like, there's just a million questions that go into anything more complicated than a point-to-point delivery. And that's largely why you see Uber Eats and DoorDash doing mostly point-to-point deliveries, because you start mixing and matching from different businesses for different customers and different order types, and it gets very, very chaotic very quickly. And so a couple things that I'm excited about this for is, one, it allows us to do cross industry deliveries. It also allows us to make sure that, to your point, that the orders are safe and secure, both from a food safety perspective, but also from a theft perspective. I don't have to worry that if I order a $600 laptop from Apple and this car goes and picks it up, I'm not going to worry that the next person in the batch delivery route is going to take my laptop. And if I'm Apple, I also don't have to have that concern that if I put it in this car, what's to prevent the person from McDonald's who ordered it to steal the laptop? There would be nothing, of course. So this is essential from a safety and security standpoint. It's essential from a cross-industry mixing standpoint. And then lastly, one thing that's not being demonstrated here, which I think is also going to be a phenomenal innovation for the industry and is absolutely going to be required, which is temperature control. So imagine that you are, going back to a McDonald's example, hypothetical McDonald's example. I order from McDonald's. Maybe there's 3 orders in here from 3 different people. McDonald's batches 3 deliveries. I'm the first one on the route. It comes to my house. I pop the trunk, grab my order out of here. Not just is it food safe and secure, I know that no driver is going to touch my food or, open it and look in there. It's going to be secure from when the McDonald's employee put it in there. I know that it's not been touched. But more importantly, this compartment, if it's a QSR compartment, is going to be temperature controlled at exactly the temperature that McDonald's would like to deliver my food at me to. So let's say that's 100 degrees, 105 degrees, whatever that specific temperature is, my food is going to show up to me as warm as it was when it was loaded into the compartment at the McDonald's store itself, which is going to blow the industry away from a quality perspective, and not something that's ever been attained, okay, in any of the last 15 years of delivery, gig worker, restaurant delivery. You always get something that's lukewarm. You don't know if you don't know how long it's been out there, tampered with it. You have no guarantees as the customer about what's happened since that order has been picked up by that gig worker, delivery driver. With this, I'm going to get the highest quality of potential restaurant delivery that you could ever get. You could imagine a Papa John's pizza in here at the exact temp that Papa John's wants to serve it to their customer at the pickup at the restaurant. I'm going to get it in my driveway, fast, safe, and probably most exciting, hot. And the last thing I'll say on the temperature front is it's not just heat. With the electrical system that comes in any premium EV like a Tesla, we can run an incredible amount of power out of it. So you can also have cold. So you could have Kroger groceries being delivered in one of these at 40 degrees, which is the desired temperature that Kroger wants to have their groceries delivered at. You could also, we have which is not in this video for today, but tomorrow we'll be showcasing this. We also have a sub freezer built into the car that if you wanted to order ice cream from Salt and Straw, that ice cream is going to be delivered to you at frozen at the exact same temperature that it was scooped out of the bins at the Salt and Straw. It's going to come to you in your cups frozen, which is incredible. And again, like, set aside the autonomy part of it, just that alone of me being able to get my orders at a temperature straight from the store, untampered with, is going to be a massive innovation for the space. Then you layer on top the autonomy and the lower price and no tip and all this other stuff, and you get what I think is going to be a 10x better product, a 10x better delivery service, also at probably a fraction of the cost. It's going to I think it's going to break the classic cost benefit trade-off that you normally see in capitalism, where you could have it for cheaper, but it's going to be crappier quality, or you could have it at higher quality, but it's going to cost you more. I think what we're bringing to the market is going to break that cost benefit trade-off, and you're going to get a much higher quality delivery service at a fraction of the price at the same time, which is going to change the industry. So,
well,
there's my
100%,
spiel.
100%. And the thing that I really want to stress is that this isn't something we're talking about taking place a year from now, or 2 years from now, or 3 years from now. This is something that can happen immediately. That locker system is real. The freezer, the sub-freezer that you invented is real. Anybody who owns a Tesla can order this and have it installed. Tesla can start shipping their cars with this factory installed. Cybercab can ship this with it factory installed. This is immediate commerce. And the reason why that's so important for me to bring that up is that you start training the customers now. And different cities and different states have different regulations about how fast they will start to really allow autonomous vehicles on the road. But if you go with a strategy where I said earlier, where you partner with these retailers to only operate within a small radius of their stores, but within a 1 to 5 mile radius, you're going to be delivering groceries and QSR food. You're going to be delivering pharmaceuticals, but you're also going to be doing ride hailing. So you can have passengers in the car. You can do product returns. Your car can be going to someone's house. That package can go into the car. And the reason why it's so important to think of it this way is that if I have passengers, 1 or 2 passengers in my Tesla, and I'm delivering those passengers somewhere, but in the car are packages I'm returning, and maybe I have some groceries, there's no incremental cost for me to do that. All of that fee, all of those fees that I'm charging go to my profit, go to my bottom line. And this is what's so transformational. These cars become a small business. Tesla owners have a fleet in their driveway that will truly generate income. And the thing that DoorDash and Uber and Instacart and some of these other companies have totally failed to do is they didn't realize what they were truly missing was a mechanism for commerce. They make deliveries, they go back and forth, but the Tesla vehicle, Tesla absolutely is aiming towards full self-driving capability. Their Cybercab. And so now what you guys have given them is something to say, well, we don't have to wait for this to happen in the future. You can start using your car now to generate income, and you start training the customer. So when full self-driving becomes available, it's irrelevant how much Uber's investing or DoorDash is investing or Waymo, because Tesla has the head start. They have an asymmetric advantage. And they're the ones that I'd be putting my money on to being the leaders in all things related to ride hailing, food delivery, grocery delivery, pharmacy delivery. It's amazing what this gives them, because you no longer are waiting for something to happen to the future. You literally can start transacting commerce immediately. This is something really, really interesting. And I'm really, really enjoying this moment because I've been waiting for this for a very long time.
That's a good segue too. I think for another piece of news that we're going to drop here, which is quite exciting. But we didn't just develop this locker system just to showcase it and talk about it. We're putting it into the field. So this summer we will be launching 15 Teslas underneath the Autolane fleet management to provide restaurant, retail, parcel, and grocery delivery within the Austin area. So it's going to be quite exciting to finally get out there on the road. Now, this is not going to be fully autonomous. This is utilizing Tesla's current FSD with 2026 Model Ys with smart lockers built into them. But we will be supervising that operation per, obviously the state of the software requires someone to be in the front seat, but also legally. So we will not be fully autonomous this summer, but we will be rolling out the first 15 vehicles through our platform in partnership with some unnamed and unannounced retailers and QSRs. But yeah, people will be able to experience this for the first time this summer in Austin. And we will continue scaling that as it goes. But the reason to kind of bring this all to market and start showcasing what it can do before autonomy is fully here is that consumers should be able to try this. And when you're a consumer, you order something, again, just hypothetical. Let's say you order from, let's just say Joe Schmo's Pizza in Austin, Texas, and they're working with Autolane this summer. And I go online, I order delivery like I normally do from Joe Schmo's, and all of a sudden I get invited to try out autonomous delivery. Now, my pizza is going to be sent to me via one of Autolane's brand new Teslas with this system installed, maybe with a temperature controlled pizza configuration for it. And you're going to be asked to go outside when the car comes. You'll be able to press open trunk opens. Then you'll be able to grab your pizza out of one of the warming compartments. And that is going to be done at a price that's much, much lower than market, because of course this is autonomous, and then you won't have to pay tip either. And so we're really going to bring the future forward for consumers so they can try out what it will be like in the future, similar to what all the autonomous vehicle companies have done in rideshare before, which, when Waymo first launched, they didn't fully launch autonomously. They did years of it with someone in the driver's seat supervising. That's what Tesla's currently doing in the Bay Area. Even today, there is a supervisor in the driver's seat, but everything else is autonomous. That supervisor does not touch the wheel. They do not touch the brake or the accelerator. They don't touch the car in any way. You do receive a fully autonomous ride via Tesla in the Bay Area. It's just that for legal purposes, there's still someone in the front seat monitoring and maintaining anything that needs to be done. And so we're going to replicate that same rollout that all of the big AV companies have done over the past few years, but we're going to do that through delivery. So we'll have people in the front seat supervising the autonomous operation. And then someday, as it becomes possible to remove that supervisor, then all of a sudden consumers will get the exact same experience, but there won't be anyone in the front seat. So we really want to make sure that consumers get the benefits and the product experience of an autonomous delivery today, see how they react to that, work out any kinks that there might be, kind of perfect the system and the operations so that when it does come time for us to push the system fully autonomous, we will have significant operations under our belt, and we'll know everything that needs to be perfected before then, and we'll make those adjustments. So really exciting news, breaking that news here on the pod as well. But look for a lot more from us this summer as it pertains to all this stuff.
Well, and not only are the consumers going to be able to experience this, but a number of select QSRs, retailers, grocers are going to be putting this into pilot in their organizations so they can be first. So if there's any of you out there that are interested, well, we actually don't have much space left anymore. Reach out to us anyway, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, and again, the thing that I would really stress here is that if you're a retailer, you're a QSR, you're any type of restaurant, if you're any company that today is dependent upon someone to be making delivery of your groceries or food, you absolutely need to be contacting Autolane. And the reason why I say that is Autolane is transforming the industry. They're transformational. They are a transformational company. If you don't start leveraging Autolane, you're falling further and further behind. And the other reason why I think it's so important for companies to contact Autolane is that this is the company that's going to allow you to accelerate into the future. This is the company that's going to actually train you and prepare you to move to a new model that absolutely is going to significantly reduce your cost. For example, there are multiple retailers I've written about. I'm not going to use any names, but one of them the other day came out and stated that they're going to earn about $1.5 billion from leveraging what they call their convenience. And that's basically the DoorDashes and that. But this same retailer is paying those companies nearly $400 million in fees. What Autolane will be able to do is turn that into a fraction, into a statistical, it'll be statistically insignificant to a retailer because of how low these costs are going to go. It's not going to happen overnight. Right. There's a lot of work that has to be done, but you have to remember, autonomy is challenging. As a retailer, you have to be able to understand, how do I manage and how do I recognize when an autonomous vehicle comes on my property? What door do I send it to? What order goes in which car? Autolane has built that capability. They built the platform for autonomous commerce. This is already here. It's real. So every retailer, every QSR out there, every logistics company, every autonomous trucking company should be contacting Autolane, because what's going to happen is this all is going to become a platform, a network. It's going to be something that has to be orchestrated on many, many levels. And this is what makes Autolane such a valuable company, the orchestration layer. This is something you're going to have. Now is the time to start. And I can't recommend Autolane more. I rarely write about companies. The ones I do, I write about them because I believe in, and I believe in Autolane with all my heart. I truly do.
Couldn't have said it any better ourselves, I don't think.
No, we really appreciate that. Sheesh, as they say. I think, from the ICSC floor, we got to wrap things here before something like drops and shatters the screen that we're doing this on. But this is a fantastic episode. Brittain, really appreciate you coming on. What am I missing?
Brittain, is there any platform or anything you'd like to let people know to find you on?
Well, anyone who's interested in learning anything about me, the easiest thing to do is just go to LinkedIn. I always respond to people who reach out. I write a lot on LinkedIn. I have a newsletter on LinkedIn. So that's really the easiest way that they can contact me. And I greatly appreciate it when anyone ever reaches out to me. I'm always fascinated by the talent that's out there. I always admire speaking to these individuals. And so please, if there's anything on your mind you want to talk about, you're more than welcome to follow me or reach out to me.
Amazing. Awesome. All right. Well, Brittain, we appreciate you. From ICSC in Vegas, that's the pod.
Thanks, Brittain.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye-bye.